Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I want to talk to you today about lump sum benefits. You may hear lawyers or people talking about lump sums in Social Security disability cases that they knew somebody or perhaps they received $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000, a lump sum check after their Social Security case. And of course that sounds like, wow, I'd love to get $50,000 deposited into my bank account. Is that true? Well, it is true. And the reason for that is that the delays we're having in disability are such that people's past due benefits can get to $50,000 or $60,000, unfortunately, pretty easily. If you're waiting 2 or 3 years for a decision and you've got a year of past due benefits in addition to that, you may have 4 years of past due benefits, and if your benefit amount is $2,000 a month, well, you can see how it can get up to $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 pretty easily. So I'm going to go through sort of how the lump sum past due benefits work. It's a little bit technical. Obviously, it's something that your lawyer can explain to you, but I want you to have sort of the basic ideas of how this works. So obviously, the amount of your lump sum is going to depend on how much your monthly benefit is going to be, and sometimes it's hard to find that out. The Social Security statement they used to mail us would tell you. Now you can go online to My Social Security and you can kind of get an estimate for that. Sometimes your lawyer can get it, but usually it's going to be somewhere in the $1,500 range. It could be a little bit more, a little bit less, and this I'm talking about SSDI, not SSI. SSI is a different subject. We're talking about SSDI. So again, $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and it also depends on your the amount of time you're waiting. So obviously you've got a certain amount of time you're waiting after you file, and right now in many places that could be 2 years, it can be 3 years. So again, if you add 36 months times your monthly benefit, you can see that's a pretty good chunk of money right there. But you can also go backwards, and in disability, SSDI, you can claim an onset date of up to 1 year prior to the date you applied. So if you apply April 3rd of 2015, you can collect benefits going back to April 3rd of 2014. And again, there's some rules of the calculations, but that's kind of the general rule. You can go back 1 year. So obviously, when you stop working, you realize you can't work anymore, the sooner you apply, the better, because obviously if you want to go back, you can do that. Now obviously if you wait 4 years or 5 years, and then you decide to apply, you can allege any kind of onset you want. So you could allege an onset in 1975, but it's going to be really difficult to win that because, number one, the evidence probably is not going to be there, and number two, judges are very reluctant to go back that far. But let's say, for sake of argument, that you filed disability and you're alleging an onset date 3 years from the day you applied. So 3 years previously, you're applying in 2015 and you're saying I became disabled in 2012 or 2013. Well, again, you can only collect money up to 1 year prior to the date of your application. So even if the judge found you disabled in 2012, you're only going to get paid from the 1 year anniversary from the date you actually filed. Now, there's also something in Social Security called the 5-month waiting period, which says the first 5 full months that you become disabled, you don't get paid for. So again, if you apply, let's just use the April 3rd of 2015, you apply April 3rd of 2015 and you're alleging an onset date of April 3rd of 2015, or I'm saying you're alleging an onset date of April 3rd of 2014, what happens is that even though the judge may find you disabled as of April 3rd of 2014, the first 5 full months of disability you don't get paid for. So you're not going to get paid for April because it's a partial month. You don't get paid for May, June, July, August, September. You start getting paid in October of 2014 in this example. So you can see that applying, even if you're alleging an onset date back 1 year, it doesn't really help you if you have that 5-month waiting period. So the math works out that really, if you're going to max out your benefits, you want to apply and allege an onset date that's at least 18 months prior to the date of your application, if, again, the medical supports that, because that will eat up the 5 full months plus the any partial months plus the year of past due benefits. So you can max out your benefits by using that sort of 18-month rule of thumb. Now, obviously, if you had a previous application, you can sometimes reopen the previous application and go back even further. But setting aside those situations where you had a previous application, as a big picture rule, if you're going to allege an earlier onset date, going back more than 18 months is probably not going to help you in terms of the amount of cash you get in your lump sum. Now, again, I realize this is kind of technical, and it's something that you probably want to talk to your lawyer about, but that's kind of a general picture. But that will give you an idea of why people are getting these large lump sums, because, again, they've maxed out their year prior to application, and they've also got the 2 or 3 years they're waiting after they've applied. So that's where lump sums come from. That's sort of how the 5-month waiting period interfaces with the lump sum. And again, I would urge you to talk to your lawyer about it to get details as to how it affects you specifically. If you want to contact me about that or any issue with Social Security, a case evaluation, happy to do that. Just contact me. I've got an email address link here it's actually a website you can use. It's a form on the screen here, so please contact me that way. If you found this video useful, please like it on Facebook, give it a thumbs up on YouTube, leave me a comment on YouTube. Those are always very much appreciated. Any questions, of course, let me know. And again, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope that, again, this was helpful, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot.